host, Tiffany Chung, your go-to for all things marketing, mindset, and manifestation. I grew my online business from 0 to beyond 6 figures in 8 months. My purpose is to empower women to step into the highest, most aligned versions of themselves. If you are ready to take charge of your life, learn how to design a wildly successful business, and leave limiting beliefs behind, you've come to the right place. You will learn the actionable tips and step-by-step strategies on money, manifestation, and social media. It's time to step into your role as boss, to raise your vibration, and tap into your unlimited potential today. Welcome to the Social Reset Podcast. Hi, and welcome back to the podcast. Today, I'm going to talk about 2 main ways of working with me through my business, through my services. I think it's always helpful to have a clear understanding of exactly how you can work with me right now. And I want to break down those 2 main ways. So right now, as of May of 2023, and most likely for the rest of the year and next year. So even if you're listening to this a little bit later, I'm not planning on launching any other big programs. I might have some master classes and mini courses that I'm creating. I'm actually creating a mini one right now. But for the most part, I really love having 2 main ways of working with my people. I think it really helps. I'm the type of person, I'm a generator in human design, and generators are known to be able to stick with one thing, and learn to sell one thing and be able to launch one thing, talk about it in a bunch of different ways. And it's something that generators really love to do, and it really lights them up. Say if you were a manifesting generator, like if I was a manifesting generator, I'd probably be creating things all the time and having new things in my offer suite all the time. So it just goes to show there's no one way of running a business and there's no one right way of doing it. For me, I love having one standalone signature course and one mastermind. That might shift as my business grows, but right now I really love that. So I want to break down those 2 main things. And I think it really helps for people to be able to make a decision in joining my world when they know that, hey, here's the first step and here's the second step, right? Super clean, super easy, super simple to make the decision. So let's start with the first one, which is BAA. This is the one where most of my students join first, and it's typically how they enter my world. And this is Business Activation Academy. I launched this academy almost 2 years now, I believe. I feel like it's been, actually, I think it's been longer. Um, it's been, I think 2021 was when I launched it. Yeah. So Business Activation Academy is actually a process I created while working with so many one-on-one and group coaching students. As I shifted away from being a social media coach, which is how I started, I began working with more students, more clients as a business coach. I would help them start a business. I would teach them how to grow their business in the beginning stages. I worked with some clients for so long that I saw them eventually hit their first 10K month, 20K month, even 30, 40K months, all while working one-on-one with them. So I felt like I had an amazing process that I had down after coaching hundreds of students and helping them start their businesses. I had a really good idea of what are some of the mindset things that come up? What are some of the obstacles they face? What are some of the things they think they need, but they don't actually need in order to build their businesses? I could literally write a whole book on it. I had so much information that I was like, you know what? It's time to create a course. And that's how Business Activation Academy was started. So Business Activation Academy is for that brand new coach, that brand new online entrepreneur that wants to get started, but really doesn't know where to start and doesn't really have much clarity on what they even want to coach on, what they even want to sell. It's really that like square zero, square one a space where through Business Activation Academy, you build your business from scratch. So you discover what is your magic? What do you want to coach? I have an entire module that teaches you how to experiment with different things, or even if you have something you're really clear on, gaining more clarity on that and really making sure like this is the thing that you want to teach and coach on. So I have an entire module on connecting with your magic because I have not had a student come through and hasn't gone like, I like has not had the experience of like, wow, I really dug deep and I really did the work and I went through the worksheets or the lessons, because I have both, and really came through on the other side going, I think this is my thing. Like, let's go test it out. And we're all cheering them on, and they have their first, client session, and they're like, yeah, this is it, right? So I have an entire framework. I call it uncovering your secret sauce. So that framework teaches you to connect with what you may want to sell online, whether that ends up being coaching, courses, some type of service, right? If you want to build an online business, this is the place to be. And not only that, once you have your magic, that's not where we end. That is exactly where we start. So once you get into having your magic, maybe running some experiments and building some clarity, then you move into designing your offer, right? You can't just, have a business where you've discovered your magic without creating some type of way to serve your people. So your offer is just your product, your service, your way of working with your clients. So your offer can be one-on-one coaching. Your offer might be group coaching. Your offer might be a course. I don't tell my students what to do or what to launch, but I do recommend a lot of my students, just because I've coached so many people at this point, to start with one-on-one coaching. Of course, you don't have to, especially if you already have the experience that you want, you can jump into group. But I find a lot of people that jump into group coaching or courses, they just haven't had that one-on-one time with their clients to really bring up the stuff that comes up in these sessions and really brings them the clarity that they want as a coach. You know, how I mentioned, I've coached hundreds of students, so I can even guess when they have mindset drama and what obstacle comes up and when it comes up and how to prevent that. So there are things my students will never experience because of the process I've created that helps prevent issues. That is how intuitive this process inside BAA is. It's because I've done this hundreds and hundreds of times with so many different students that I've really created a process, a framework in where this best serves your online business to start and grow sustainably and joyfully. That's something that's really, really important to me. So when you jump straight into building a course, sometimes you've missed some of those steps of really spending one-on-one time with your clients, deciphering, dissecting, having them tell you, hey, I'm struggling with this. This came up. I need support around this, right? Helps you bring all the content. It helps you build the lessons for the course so that you aren't building some course and then you go back and go, oh, wow, I missed like 6 different steps. And now I'm going to rework all the lessons, right? Now, that's not the case for everyone. Some people have the experience. They have some clear thing that they've channeled or something that they've already taught in some capacity or something they have lots of, knowledge on. Then yeah, jump straight into courses, right? And you can do that through BAA. But a lot of my students start with the one-on-one. They don't have to do it forever, right? But they do it to gain enough knowledge and clarity so that if they do branch into either a course or building a membership or a group program or something else, then they feel really confident going into it. They already have the proof. They already have all the client testimonials. They already had time to build out a process. And that's what I help you do inside Business Activation Academy. So by the time you get to your offer, your one-on-one coaching offer or whatever it is, that way you are already running experiments and really building that out. So after you build out your offer, then we move into teaching you how to market and sell your offer. So this is where we move into the BAA sales system. This is the system that I use in my own business that I personalized to myself to grow from zero to, I think by the time I launched BAA, it was 400,000 or so, almost 500,000 in sales revenue. And now I am closer to $900,000 in sales revenue. And there are pieces that I don't necessarily do like sales calls, but the framework, the mindset, the energetics, the process is all the same. So this is a system that is tried and true. It is proven. It has helped my students create six-figure businesses. It has helped my clients in BAA within months of joining have a 10K month. It's how so many of my clients and my students have booked out their coaching practices to where they cannot take any more students because they are selling so frequently and at such an effortless pace, right? So the BAA sales system, I would say, is absolute gold. I have updated it and I continue to update each of these modules to make sure that none of this information feels, unaligned. Like everything in here is 100% aligned to my teachings and to the teachings of building a very sovereign and joyful and sustainable business, which is really something that I think is important. And everything you see has been created with intention. All of the modules, all of the lessons, the way that I teach it, the processes that I teach, like this is all created and built and designed with intention, and also through my own experimentation and my own coaching, my own years of coaching so many of my students. And so I'm really proud of the framework inside the academy and the wins that my students have experienced and created for themselves. Another thing I love about Business Activation Academy is that it's not this course that you just kind of go through and everyone gets the same results or everyone does it the same way. I have so many different types of clients and students that have their own businesses inside BAA that have ended up creating things that look completely different because I call it a choose your own adventure course. BAA is like going on a road trip, or it's like going on a journey or an adventure. And everybody has different wins, has different results, does things their own way. Everyone has a different magic, right? Like no two niches are the same, even if they're in the same focus or area, like health coaching, for example. Like we have so many different health coaches and they each have their own magic in how they talk about health or nutrition or loving your body or just so many different ways. And they have their own take, their own spin on things. And it's really beautiful. And that is what I love to highlight, is building a business that truly comes from you, that makes you feel like you're coming home to yourself rather than I'm building this business. I feel like it has to look this way. I feel like it needs to look like this. And, ends up being a business that you felt like you had to build because it's what your mentor's business looked like, but it wasn't necessarily what your business was supposed to look like, right? And I've been in a lot of spaces where there are business coaches, business courses. I've just been in a lot of these spaces. And a lot of them have been, very much like, oh, this is the leader and the leader teaches what they know. And which is fine, right? But that everyone ends up following that and thinking, oh, I just have to apply, copy and paste to my business. And I knew I wanted BAA to look really different. I wanted it to be a choose your own adventure where you go through it and experience it in your own way, right? You decide how to align certain things to your energy. If there's something that doesn't feel good to you or you experiment with it and it doesn't work, we're going to try a different method for you, right? It isn't the strategy that makes your results or creates your results. It's you, right? And when you know that, it's such a powerful understanding of of your business and yourself that doesn't look like anybody else's, right? It isn't some business mentor forcing you to look to show up in your business a certain way. It is you doing it that's led by your inner guidance. I think that's honestly the most important thing. So that is really the gist of Business Activation Academy. I absolutely love teaching in this program. When you join, it's kind of like a lifetime membership that you just get access to with a one-time enrollment fee. So the enrollment fee is $55.55, and there are payment plans available for that. And Business Activation Academy is it's a course that you get access to. So you have all these modules that you get access to with lessons inside each of them. You also get access to a mini course I created last year called Aligned Client Playground. This is my best-selling mini course on client attraction and the energetics of attracting sales into your business. And it's an amazing, amazing little deep dive into client attraction specifically. But you also get access to live coaching calls every single month. So yes, if you join this month, you will be attending live coaching calls that take place December of this month. And you do not have to pay any extra for the coaching calls. You're in it for life. So that's why I feel like I've created such an incredible community because, I had several new students join this month. And for our first coaching call, which the live coaching calls are every first and third Wednesdays of every month. So for the first Wednesday of this month, when I had the live coaching call, I had several brand new students that just joined. And I had a couple students that joined in from the first launch of BAA in 2021. And they're still coming back and soaking up the coaching. They're still applying the lessons, right? They're still a part of, like, sometimes I do BAA mini minds, and they still love it, and they still come back to it saying that it's the gift that keeps on giving. And I think that's really valuable when you're in business, not to just be a part of something for a couple months or, just like, oh, here's this thing I'm going to join, but it's only like 2 months long or it's only 3 months long. And then I don't get access to anything afterwards. Like, I thought it was really important for new business owners to have a community where you are going through and growing through the same things as the people around you, right? Sometimes your partner, your family, your friends, they don't really completely understand what you're doing. And words like offer and sales and systems and masculine and feminine and all the work that you're doing in your business just doesn't make sense to the people around you. So having a community of people who are all doing the same things, that are all working on more sales and clients and results and taking time to themselves, or creating rhythm and balance in their life, like, this is all stuff, like, we're not just talking about business. We also talk about taking care of yourself and relationships and pleasure and self-awareness and healing, manifestation, mindset, money. Love talking about money in BAA. So we have all of these incredible conversations with a community that is so like-minded and spiritual and spirit heart led. That's something that's really important to every single one of the students. So I think being a part of something like that, okay, I have these live coaching calls every month with this group of people that are so empowering and cheering me on. And, I always see them like commenting on each other's posts, the students inside BAA, and it's really beautiful to see. So yeah, that is one of the main ways to work with me, is joining BAA. And it's designed for that brand new coach that doesn't know what they want to coach on or doesn't have an offer and wants to build that through the academy. Or you are someone that's already launched your business. Maybe you already even have an offer, or you've already worked with clients, but you're just not seeing the results you desire. And maybe you've been in other business courses that are really wounded masculine and very much about the do, and you want to create some more flow. You want to create some more effortlessness and joy in your business to create a more sustainable business. You want to do it your way. You want to be led by pleasure. Then this is also the community for you. You do not need to be at square one to join, even though that will absolutely benefit you. A lot of my coaches actually join after they've launched on their own and then realize, oh crap, I do think I need some support. I do think I need a community. And then they join and they have an incredible time in here. So yeah, it's mainly for those two people, coaches, mentors, online educators, and entrepreneurs that are starting at zero and don't know what to do. And you essentially want a process and a framework laid out for you with personalized coaching. We also have a private Facebook group where I'm coaching in all the time. People are sharing their wins, what they want support on, et cetera, et cetera. So we have multiple people jumping in there and coaching you, including me, of course. So it's for the brand new person, or it's for someone who's already started their business and just wants to create more in their business, more results, more clients, more abundance, and really wants to play that big game. This is where you start. This is where you do it. So that's Business Activation Academy. That's $55.55. And there are payment plans for that. The link is in the show notes. But if you want to just type it into your browser, it's Tiffany Chung, CHEUNG.co/BAA. So tiffanychung.co/BAA. And that's the sales page where all the information lives, and you can click through and purchase, and you get immediate access. So once you hit purchase, you get the course in your course portal on Kajabi. Kajabi will send you an email with your login information. You will have a button to join the private Facebook group where you can introduce yourself. And you will get the Zoom link for our live coaching calls, and you can start diving into the material that same day, which is amazing. And I love that feeling of like opening up a new course, diving in, opening up a new notebook, taking notes, and really going all in and committing to my business, right? Because it really is an investment. It's an investment rather than just something you're buying, because it comes back to you, right? Most of my students have made their money back, some of them within the first month, right? But the time frame doesn't need to matter when you are doing something that you are building. You want to build this long term, right? So that's what we do together inside BAA, and I love it. And I would love to have you join us. It is an absolute blast, and I always have so much fun with my students. So that is everything you need to know about joining Business Activation Academy. That is really my signature course. It's an introductory course. It's really for you to book your first couple of paid clients, your first several paid clients, and actually building proof, building that effortlessly so that you have a system of booking clients that works for you. And when you have that proof, it makes it so much easier to build your business after that. So let's talk about Magicmind, the mastermind, which is a clear next step after joining BAA. So typically when you join BAA, you are in and you've started your business, you've created your first offer, you're learning to market, you're learning to sell it, you book your first few clients, and you kind of have a rhythm going. But like they say, in order to get to where you want to go, you can't do what you've always done, right? If I continue to do what I was doing in the very, very beginning of my business now, it just wouldn't work. Or if I kept doing what I was doing in the beginning of my business forever, it also wouldn't get me to where I am now. So when you start, there are certain things that are fine. It's fine to be a little scrappy. It's fine to take on clients that you don't necessarily really want to work with. It's fine to launch an offer that you're not really sure about, right? But as you start working with more clients, things need to tighten up a little bit. You do need to naturally start gaining more clarity. You know who you want to work with, and you know when you're taking on a client that's clearly not the right match, and you know better, right? In the very beginning, you don't know better. So you have to do it in order to learn. But several months in, you know better. and you know that you're just doing it for the money or whatever the reason might be, right? Those things need to go as you build your business into multiple six figures. So that's why I created Magicmind. This is why I created Magicmind. I created it so that those students, those clients that are graduating from the BAA level, from those introductory lessons, those trainings that you need to know in order to book your first few clients, in order to continue growing to the six-figure and multi-six-figure range in your business, there are different things you need to do. There are different things you need to know. There are different things to implement. There are also different ways of thinking, right? When you first start your business, your mindset doesn't always necessarily need to be crystal clear. It just kind of needs to get you to be taking action and to be doing things in your business, right? Like action is really important in the beginning because that's what gives you clarity. But as you start growing, as you have knowledge and data and proof, right? You have proof that you can do this. You have proof that you can book clients. Then you need to start shifting your mindset from I need to take on every single client or else my business is going to fall apart to I can choose to work with the people I want to work with and everything will be okay. It'll actually make room for more aligned clients and I don't have to say yes to everybody and I don't have to keep selling that offer that I sold in the beginning because I didn't know what else to offer. Now I have an offer that I really want to sell. And so there's a lot more self-coaching and mindset drama, I will say, and mindset coaching that you need as you are growing into the six-figure and multi-six-figure range, right? Even just to get to six figures, there's a good amount of mindset drama involved. So when you are shifting into that space, you want to be in a community with people who are also doing the same thing. And I've found that a lot of my BAA students who did want to graduate into that level, and they were with a lot of people who were just starting out, they wanted a community of their own, right? Which is the reason why I designed Magicmind. And a mastermind is different than a course. So BAA is a course that you get access to that includes live coaching. Mastermind, a mastermind is live hot seat coaching that is individualized for all of the members, right? I mean, every mastermind is going to look a little different, of course, but for the most part, masterminds are programs that are coaching that really includes coaching each other, right? So it isn't just the lead coach or the lead mentor coaching everyone. Everyone is kind of coaching each other. And it is a cohort where you meet typically once a week for an extended period of time. And you are meeting, it's individualized. The coach or the mentor knows where you're at. There are typically requirements in order to even be accepted into the mastermind. So for example, for Magicmind, you need to have worked with at least 3 clients, right? I say like 3 to 5 clients. If you've worked with more, amazing, but you need to have had worked with at least 3 in order to jump into the mastermind. And I have that for a very specific reason, because I'm not teaching you how to book your first few clients. You should have already worked with your first few clients and then jumping into Magicmind in order to grow and double that. So however many clients you've already worked with, I want you to be able to book that in like half the time you did. Right? And there are different skills, there are different trainings, there are different mindset concepts you need to know in order to do that. So, but in order to do that, you also need to have booked those first few clients to begin with, or else you're going to be learning how to book your first few clients, learning how to sell, learning how to market, figuring out what your magic is, figuring out your offer, and trying to double your income. That is just way too much. That is just way too much. And I find that every round of Magicmind, we're in the second round, about to open the third, I'm learning more and more about how this mastermind is taking form and taking its shape. And so what I've really decided on is it is so helpful when someone has worked with X many clients, right? In this case, 3 clients, which I might actually bump that up to 5. You already have this proof of concept. And not only that, you have experience in working with your clients. Now that you've worked with 3, 4, 5, 6 plus clients, you know what your clients are struggling with. You know what they're looking for. You know what they're experiencing on a day-to-day. You know why they signed up with you, right? And you've been able to get them results at this point. So that means you have client testimonials and you can talk about client wins. And there are different things you can talk about now that you have the perspective of actively coaching. Before that, it's really hard to show up and market and sell when you're coming from absolute zero. There are different focuses, right? So that's why it's important to think about BAA in that way. And that's who it's for versus a mastermind where it's a little bit more advanced. The concepts when I talk about marketing, it's advanced levels of marketing, right? And when I talk about selling, it's advanced levels of selling because you've already sold to people. So now let's really create a personalized sales strategy and system that works for your specific business now that you have experimented and will continue to experiment with who your audience is, how they respond, what they're looking for, how to speak with them, what you think about them, all those things that you don't necessarily know in the very beginning. You go through what you go through in the beginning in order to gather that data. And then once you join Magicmind, we put that into action, create a game plan, an action plan. I give you direct, personalized, one-on-one feedback, either on the calls together or on Slack, spending time in your business, looking at how you're selling, looking at how you're marketing. If something's not working, why? I'm going to help you to discover and get to the root of why so we can navigate this together and make sure that it doesn't happen in that same way again, right? Or that you know what to do if this does happen again to make you not just a better coach, but a better CEO. You walk away from Magicmind as a better CEO that is able to manage your mind. You are able to make decisions from a place of clarity, decisiveness, knowing your identity, knowing your business, right? Because that's the thing. You're not just a coach that's getting really good at coaching. Yes, of course. But you're also a CEO running a company that really runs on marketing and sales. These are the oxygen. Think of them as oxygen tanks in your business. And so when these things aren't running well, especially for an online business, an online coaching business or teaching business, then how are we expected to build something that's sustainable and profitable and abundant, right? So that's really what we're looking at inside Magicmind is personalization that you don't get inside BAA. Like BAA, you have the private Facebook group, you have 2 live calls every month, and I do my best to coach as many people as possible on those calls. But there isn't really continued like, hey, I know you're in launch right now. What are some things that are coming up for you? Or, hey, I know that you were going to, work on that marketing strategy we talked about. How is that going? Where do you need my specific support? Hey, do you want to send me your story slides that you posted this morning so I can take a look at them and give you direct feedback on what you maybe can add or take away? Or, hey, I know that you're, in launch and you already sold, 3 spots. What like, you don't, there's so many things I know about my Magicmind students that because I spend so much intimate, high level, high touch time with them intimately in their businesses that I'm just not able to do inside BAA, because that's not necessarily what they signed up for. It's not really like a cohorted mastermind. I kind of coach them on what they bring to me. If they do bring me something, of course I am going to coach them on it. But it is also a bigger group. We have like over 50 coaches inside BAA. Magicmind we've got 6 women, right? And so I know I can tell you exactly where every single woman is at in their journey, in their business, what they're doing, what they're focusing on. I can even give you dates on their next masterclass launches and offer launches. Like, that is how detailed. And not only that, I have folders on every single client and student that I update not only on the calls, but afterwards on how I can coach them better, and sending them messages on Slack and constantly thinking about them, right? This is what they signed up for. This is a high level investment. This is a high level mastermind where they have decided to hire me as their business coach, as their marketing and sales, officer, to really help them with their mindset and these areas of their business. So this is what I do in Magicmind. And I would say if you are a coach that's already worked with over 5 students, you've already booked several clients into your business, and you're like, okay, I'm ready. I am ready to take it to the next level. I know that I've booked several clients, but I want it to happen more effortlessly. I want to be coached on my mindset. I want to create a game plan to get me to my next income goal. And I want to make sure that I have a community of people that are going to hold me accountable, that I will be able to coach, that they will be able to coach me, and where I will be able to be in a community with other people that are doing the same thing as me. And I think that's really important, is being in a room where these conversations really hit different, right? Even the conversations that we have in BAA versus Magicmind, like, there are more advanced conversations happening inside Magicmind, 100%. Not better, just more advanced, right? More advanced level. So if you are at that more advanced level where you've already worked with several paying clients, then that's the room you need to be in order to continue growing your business, right? If you are in the beginning stages and you're still struggling to book clients, then yeah, absolutely, BAA is the table that you want to be at, right? And then once you've graduated from that level, then you definitely want to be inside Magicmind. All right. So Magicmind, a couple of the logistical details. We are opening for enrollment in late August. This is a $10K investment. If you're doing a payment plan, it needs to be paid before the end of September, meaning if you want a longer payment plan and you want to be in that room, you should be DMing me right now. If you want to do like a 3-month payment plan or a 4-month payment plan, I don't even know if we could do a 4-month at this point. Like, you need to be DMing me right now and saying, hey, I need to be in that October round of Magicmind, and let's go, right? Because at that point, if you're waiting till the last minute, then you're paying in full $10K, which a lot of people are planning on doing. But if you do want the payment plan, like, that's up to you, then you make sure to DM me or email me, and my team and I will take care of you and make sure that you are onboarded. If you have any questions about Magicmind, you can 100% DM me. We can discover if it's a good fit for you. And the same thing for BAA. My DMs are always open. I'm always happy to chat and answer questions and share voice notes and really talk and make sure that this is the best decision for you. And if I don't feel like it is for any reason, I'll tell you. And if I feel like maybe there's a different coach or you're looking for something completely different, then I'll let you know, right? But that rarely happens. I'm pretty clear in my marketing and my messaging, and people who come to me typically know what they want. So the only other thing would just be like, is BAA a better match or is Magicmind a better match? And we can have a conversation and really discover that and really see what you feel aligned to. But I would say trust your gut, trust your instincts, trust your inner guidance system, because you're always going to be led in the right direction if you drop into your body and you really ask it questions and where you're meant to be led. So I'm really excited to share these two offers with you, as they are my main offers. And I'm really proud of what I've created. And I love working with my students inside these two offers, and would absolutely love to welcome more of you inside the BAA family and community, and welcome more students into this new round of the October 2023 Magicmind Mastermind. All right, you can get the link to join BAA in the show notes. The wait list for Magicmind Mastermind is in the show notes. If you join the wait list, you'll get access to the early access application, which means that you can apply and be accepted early. There are limited spots. So that's something that would be a huge advantage if you know that you want to be a part of the mastermind. And you will also get information and details on the enrollment dates, details about the mastermind and what we're covering, all that good stuff. So if you want to be a part of the mastermind, you definitely want to be on that wait list for the October round, which is our next round. Enrollment happening in August. All right. Again, questions, anything you want to share, anything you want to talk to me about, DM me. I love having conversations with you all. And yeah, I hope to see some of you inside my containers. And I'll catch you in the next episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye. Thank you so much for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe. If this episode resonated with you, please take a screenshot, share it on your Instagram stories, and tag me at tiffanychung.co. I truly appreciate interacting with every one of you. Catch you all on the next one.